Hello, good evening, and welcome back, everybody, to the G-Town Podcast, episode number 9. My name is Borillo. I'm your main host of the G-Town Podcast. Today on the cast, we have the usual crew. We got Richard and Aaron here on the cast. Before we start this podcast, please do leave a like, comment, and subscribe. A quick reminder that we are also on Spotify. So we totally suggest that you listen to it in the car when you're just going to the gym or just walking around, going for a run. We appreciate every eye and ear on the podcast. All right, and we are going to be introducing our special guest for this episode, our fellow podcaster of Surrey, BC, Oreo Cookie Guidance Podcast. Sorry, did I say it right? Guidance Cookies. Guidance Cookies Podcast. My apologies. Okay. Aurea Delos Santos. What's good? Hey. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
My hands are so sweaty. We're off to a bad start, everybody. Hey, am I looking at this camera?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey.
Thank you so much for hopping onto the podcast.
Yeah.
Very humbled by your presence. We appreciate you for being here. How was your day going so far?
Not bad. Did you guys see the weather out there today?
Oh, beautiful. Actually,
Did we
beautiful.
hit the 20s today? Yeah.
We did 24 highs, I swear. I was blasting the AC. It was
nice.
so hot.
It
It was so
nice.
hot.
It was beautiful, so it's been a good day for me. Yeah.
For me, though, it was actually a rough start to the day.
Why?
This morning, I usually have my work schedule like 2 weeks ahead, but for some reason it was just kind of like behind.
Yeah.
So I was so dead set that today I was going to be working 11 to 7 o'clock, but that actually wasn't the case.
11 to 7.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was late to work this morning. I was actually working at 7 o'clock till 3, and then this morning it was like 7:15. I got my coworker. He's calling me. He's like, "Hey, Brendan, are you okay, man?" And I'm like,
Oh, jeez.
I'm like, "Oh, Jason."
He's talking to me right now.
Jeez.
I just woke up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I was mad. I was like, do you
Why is he
mean
calling?
I'm working at 11 o'clock, right? And then
Yeah.
he's like, no, you're working at 7 today. I'm like, No, I felt so bad. My heart like dropped.
Oh man.
I'm a very, very like punctual person, so if I'm like
Same
late,
here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill myself for it. Like it literally dragged out the whole entire day. I'm like saying sorry to everyone.
Oh,
No.
such a sweetheart.
What time did you end up pulling to work then?
8:00.
Gee.
Not bad. Yeah.
Do you live close to work?
I work at different locations for my work. I work for a hotel. So this time I worked in Langley.
Hospitality.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I worked
Filipinos
in. Yeah, that's right. Okay. What did you do today though?
I did a hiring fair downtown at a hotel too. It was really dope.
Mm-hmm.
You know how like nervous everybody gets, and like,
Yeah.
you could see in everyone's
You
face
can
that they're
feel
like nervous.
the tension
Yeah,
too.
it was like that. But like honestly, like filling up the application took way longer than actually doing the interview. So
I see.
no, it was super chill. But yeah, I totally know what you mean about being late.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm like so bad at that. When I'm early, I'm really, really early.
Me too.
When I'm late, I'm still early.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm on time, I'm like still early. When I'm late,
Yeah.
I'm like 5 minutes late. That's why I was like, yo man, I think I'm gonna be late for today. I think I'm gonna be late today. But I wasn't. Like I was on time. But when I'm really, really late, I'm only like 10 minutes late. So
Yeah.
I understand.
That's a good thing though.
But it's
you know?
I feel
Yeah.
like it's come a long way, so pretty happy about it.
Do you punish yourself a lot for it? It was just like, for me, it's like, oh man, Bren, why are you late, man? I'm gonna get fired. I'm like,
Dude,
oh.
no, don't think that. Yeah, everyone
No,
makes
I don't-
mistakes sometimes.
Not that bad. No.
Speaking of like nervousness, like to our audience, I just want to let you guys know, but like for every episode, I always get butterflies.
Same
still.
here.
Yeah. Right?
I always
It's
think I
like-
got my cool down, I get it, and then
Yeah.
right when I'm about to hit record or go live or whatever, I'm like,
Well,
no, I don't know what the heck I was preparing for. It's all
That's
gone.
No.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Well, to the audience that doesn't know you, please introduce yourself, Aurea.
Oh my gosh. Okay. To the audience that doesn't know me, hello. Like this area. This is the only camera I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My name is Aurea. It's like Oreo, but with an A at the end. That's literally how I introduce myself to everybody I meet. Yeah. I am actually from Surrey. A lot of people don't know that. I'm from Surrey. I'm currently 22 years old. I just turned 22. And like the boys have said, I do my own podcast. And it's like a nice, cute little advice podcast.
That's awesome.
But thank you. And then, but I also like dance and sing and stuff on the side. And what else do I say?
Pretty much multi-talented.
I have a dog. And I love him a lot.
What's your dog's name?
His name is Axel.
Oh, I thought it was like Oreo.
Shout out to Axel.
Axel.
His name is Axel, and he's a sweetheart. He's in a lot of the episodes, the podcast episodes, wreaking havoc. So if you listen to them, you'll hear him running around, making noises, barking, and everything.
Cute cameos. pretty
Yeah,
much,
true.
right? Yeah.
Every single episode, Axel's a guest. Yeah.
Okay. Where were you? You were born here in Surrey. You
I
grew
was
up.
not.
Oh.
No, I was born in the Philippines.
Oh.
Yes, I was born in the Philippines, and then my family immigrated here when I was like 6 years old, and that's when I first lived in Toronto.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, so when we first immigrated here, I lived in Toronto, lived there for a few years, and then we moved up north to Prince George. And it's really cold over there.
Oh yeah.
I think you mentioned you were from
Prince Rupert.
Prince Rupert.
Yeah.
It's really cold over there too.
It is.
Yeah.
It
and
is.
then so I lived there.
There's nothing to do there.
Nothing to do in Prince George either, dude. Trust.
Yeah,
Nothing
there's-
to do. Except for in the wintertime, then you can go like sledding.
Well, it's like snowing like
What
crazy
else is
there.
there? Like, but in the
Yeah,
summer,
yeah.
you're like, let's go to the mall, but there's like 2
the
stores
mall's
in
like a
the
strip mall
Yeah.
or something like that, right?
And it's really bad.
What age were you in Prince George?
Ooh. That's grade 5
Wow.
till grade 9. And so I came here, and then I lived in Sullivan Heights. I still live in the Sullivan Heights area, and I went to Sullivan grade 10, and I've been living there since.
Oh,
And
okay.
stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome, actually.
Crazy.
It's like when like the transition from like going grade 8 from Prince George, which is like it's like a big transitional period. But I feel like that's middle school there, right? Or did they not have middle school there?
They did have middle school.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
So like jumping into Sullivan Heights, and it's so big, right?
Yeah.
Compared to that middle school that you were at, like, what did it feel like?
Honestly, it was. I feel like I threw myself in there because my parents gave us like this research project of like what high school to go to that we wanted to go to when we moved to the Lower Mainland, and I specifically picked Sullivan Heights because it was a performing arts school, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go. I was in grade 9. I was so like, wow. I was like, I'm gonna move and go to this performing arts school, and yeah, I don't know, it like spoke out to me because we did like, it's like a funny story, but like when we first moved down to the Lower Mainland, we didn't have a place to live, and we literally lived at like Sandman Suites Hotel on 152nd.
Okay.
Wow. We lived there for like 5 months. For 5 months, I lived there for 3 months. Yo.
Wow.
Hey.
We had my dog there and everything too, living the sweet life, hey?
Yeah. Literally.
It was during the summer too, so it's AC
same.
and everything was amazing.
Yeah, it was when like Guildford wasn't developed though, so I felt like I really watched that mall like flourish and grow to how it is now. Anyways, what were we talking about? The transition. Honestly, it was hard, but at the same time, it wasn't too bad because I think my first move from Toronto to Prince George was difficult.
Yeah.
Because like when I lived in Toronto, there's a lot of like the Filipino community was pretty like developed.
Yeah.
And it was good there. And then when I moved to Prince George, it was very like everyone was white, everyone was Caucasian. Yeah. And I mentioned in my podcast before too, like that was where I was a big target for like bullying when I was in grade 4, grade 5, and so that was really like that was rough. So I felt like transitioning into Sullivan Heights was fine for me.
That's good.
It was just a matter of like getting.
And it kind of like defined you in a
way.
Of
for
performing
sure.
arts, right?
Definitely.
Performing arts, dancing and singing. Yes.
No. I was saying this earlier. It doesn't even feel like that because I feel like I've always just been able to do these things since I was younger. Like it just feels like I have a lot of hobbies. But then when people say like, oh, multi-talented or you have so many things going on, I'm like, oh, like when you put it that way, I guess so.
Yeah.
But it's a natural thing.
It's so natural to you.
I just feel like it's just like fun and it's just, yeah.
Okay, I want to talk about your podcast specifically. Or, this is podcasting segment kind of talk thing.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know, like, and I'll tell you our story too, but what inspired you to start a podcast?
Do you guys want to know the real story or the fake story?
The real story.
The real story.
The real story is kind of weird and kind of embarrassing. So I have these like, I don't know if you guys are ever like this too, where you think of an idea and you like have to like do it, or you have to like write it down, or you have to like hit up somebody and be like, hey man, I have this idea, like don't call me crazy, and it's like in the middle of the night, 3 a.m. or whatever, you're pointing at me like, you know what I'm saying, bro. So it was like that for me. But it was when I was doing a lone drive to Kelowna.
4 hours.
Yeah. No, I did like, dude, I shed like 40 minutes because I was going 160 on the highway. I didn't even realize.
Wow.
Don't tell anybody. But yeah, I was on my lone drive to Kelowna and it was really weird. I was so lonely driving and I was like, you know what? What if you did like a live stream while you were like
driving?
While you were driving. Like that would be pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Like, you'd look over to your phone momentarily and like look for a question, but it's like ain't nobody got enough data to do that for like 4 hours straight.
That's true.
And I'm like, that's not what we want to do.
Definitely not.
Go over the bill.
Yeah.
Yo.
Just for our podcast. Yeah.
So it was kind of like that was I think the root of it. So don't think I'm weird, but I literally like talked to myself during that time because I was falling asleep and I was trying to just like keep myself occupied with
you were
some
alone,
conversation.
right?
Yeah, I was by myself.
Oh, shoot.
And it was like my first ever long drive.
That's a long
Yeah,
drive.
I love long drives, like late night long drives. I love that, but like going somewhere road trip by myself, it was really sad. So I was just talking to myself, keeping myself company.
Nice.
When music can only do so much, right?
Or put you to sleep.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. And so with that, I was like, oh, that would be a pretty good idea. And that's kind of like where it sparked. But I think the origin of actual like Oreo's guidance cookies, like the whole framework of it and like all of the different segments that I have thought of, that was, this is another crazy story too. It was when I was literally leaving for Hong Kong the day I was leaving for Hong Kong. So my flight left for Hong Kong in about 2-3 hours, and I need to leave for the airport. And what did I do? I like got on my computer, and I don't know, I just had this like wave of just ideas. I don't know where it came from. I had actually talked to Josh about it, and I like phoned him like, hey, I have this like weird thing. A bunch of these ideas are coming out of my head. Like, it was weird. Like, I didn't just have like I didn't just have the idea. I had like the 13 plus guests that I already wanted. And I had like all of like one word wonders. I had figured out all of those words already. All in like that one, like I think it was like what, 20 minutes sitting. Just sitting there just typing stuff constantly. And then I was like, nah, this is crazy. Like I'm always the type too that it takes a lot of guts, it takes a lot of time and a lot of like willpower to commit to a project, right?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So I was like, I've always been that kind of person to be like, I can't do it. Like, I can't commit to a project. I can't do that. So what I done was I left it and I was like, I'll go to Hong Kong. I'll come back. If it's still like ringing, it's still like singing in my head, then I'll touch it when I come back. And I came back and it was still like
bing,
glowing.
Bing, 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 bing.
Yeah.
Still ringing.
Yeah.
And so I was like, God, do it. And then that's where it started.
I love it.
That's
I
cool.
love
Did
it.
you know that you wanted to be like an advice podcast and like conversational?
I knew that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I knew that. Yes.
That's really cool.
It was weird, but no, I'm so grateful for it. Yeah. That was
I
it.
love the story. Because like it's in some ways it's very similar, actually almost similar to how I wanted to start the podcast.
Yeah.
It's because my story was, yeah, that's pretty much it. I was like talking to myself and like just it was very, I had it dormant for like a year.
Yeah.
I didn't really
Of like making projects? Of like
just like
creative?
making ideas and
True.
topics.
Yeah.
And like I'm always hanging with like my close bros and all the time, and then like I'm like, we could put this on camera and then we'll see where it goes, kind of.
Yeah,
And
I remember
like,
that.
And every conversation that we always had was like, it would go so far. We just ramble on so far, and then like all these stories, all this like inspiration that I get from my friends,
That's
and like
dope.
I just like bring it all together. I wrote it down. I like my every note that I did, I just wrote it down, and then in that dormant year, I was actually talking to Aaron a lot.
Yeah.
I was like, Aaron, like we should run a podcast, right? And like I know it sounds like such a far-fetched idea, and you're just like.
Yeah.
Like
how? Like how
I'm
do
not
we
gonna
do
do
this?
that.
Like what do we
I can't do
need?
that.
You know?
Yeah.
what do we need to execute?
Yeah,
and, like,
exactly.
There's so much more thought process than just, I want to do a podcast. There's
Yes.
so much more to it than
Definitely,
that, for sure.
definitely.
I understand.
And and then I pitched the idea again, because like it just sparked in my mind after the summer. Like we did, like it was such a great summer. Like we're just like vibing. Summer 2018, it was dope.
Yeah.
Then I pitched it to Ceston over here.
Yeah.
Me and Ceston, we go way back. We used to make a lot of like skits and videos, and like we just edit on like Sony Vegas. We just like go off, pop off. He's more of like on the tech side. Like he knows so much. Very knowledgeable guy.
I bet.
Yeah. And then I pitched it to him.
Yeah.
Shout out Prada Man.
Yeah.
Hey.
Always.
And then we just had Jinya actually. we just finished having ramen.
Yeah.
We were doing like Black Friday shopping, and then like
Oh, yeah.
and then I hit up this guy. I'm like, hey man, dude, what do you think about doing a podcast? And then like this guy's eyes was like, yo.
You gonna do that again?
And it's like,
Yo.
and then he's like, hell yeah, let's do it.
Oh, wow.
Hell yeah, let's do it. And then like, in all honesty, I feel like my friends really pushed me. Like
That's
let's actually do this. Let's put this together. Let's do it. And afterwards, the next step was finding this office. So we had to like really. That's where willpower comes in, where you have to
sure.
you have to put your effort
You have
in.
to get yourself out there.
So, like we came here. This is actually our first shout out to our office, actually. So, shout out to Jason, the owner of Beta Collective in Surrey. It is a office sharing space where a lot of companies come together and they have this office space where everyone shares the office. There's like different rooms and all that. Like you can see inside. There's like different people here, different companies with different labels on each door.
And different amenities for
Yeah.
office related stuff too.
So dope.
So yeah, Jason owns this space. I was trying to find an office space. Like, where can we go? I'm like on Craigslist. It's like $180. I'm like for a month though.
Yeah,
And I'm like, I don't know if like
no.
we can do that. And then we found here.
Yeah.
Like I was just Googling it, like cheap office space to rent. And like,
Yeah.
and then this came up, and it was like, whoa, that's cheap. Let's go.
Yeah.
And then I emailed Jason. I was like super intimidated. I'm like, oh man, I hope he takes it seriously.
Yeah.
And then like we met him up. I met him up, along with Ceston, Aaron. Rich, were you there?
No, I wasn't
No,
there.
and,
I think Eric was there.
our cast member Eric was there too, and my
And
girlfriend.
visuals.
Yeah. Oh, we had visuals. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we met up with him, and he was telling us that like, oh man, I was actually nervous meeting you guys because I thought it was gonna be some studio like legit thing, and I'm like, oh, like no, we're just like a bunch of guys with just like a USB microphone just trying to make a podcast, and then what I really vibed with Jason was like he saw the vision of the podcast. He saw like
A community.
a community. Yeah.
Definitely.
For sure.
He saw us like building like a niche, and he believes in us. And then he said, you know, I'm gonna give you this space. Originally, he was supposed to get a room upstairs,
Yeah.
but then he gave us this space instead.
Is the space bigger?
It is bigger, and the acoustics are slightly better.
That's good.
So he gave us this space for the same price as the room upstairs, which is on like the affordable side
Yeah.
of it. So yeah, shout out to Jason. Thank you.
Dope. I didn't even know we had a place like this in Surrey, like an office sharing space.
Yeah.
I was searching for such a long time. Like I was like, oh, Craigslist, like, oh, 2K, 1K.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's crazy.
oh, come
Like, those
on.
are like actual offices.
That's a house.
That's a house, bro.
But yeah,
That's awesome. No, you guys have come a long way.
Thank you.
Congrats, G-Town.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
What were you gonna say?
No, go ahead.
I want to ask. So now that you said your real story, could you tell about the fake story?
What is the fake story?
What
No,
is the
I
fake
thought it was
story?
legit. You thought you was like, oh, is this a real story or you want the fake story?
The fake story was like the Hong Kong one.
Oh.
The real story was not saying that it's fake. Like it's
Yeah.
like
It's
I felt
real.
like it
Yeah.
was like fast forwarded.
Ah.
But like the route was me talking to myself in the car. That's why I didn't want
Wow.
that's why I didn't want it.
Comes a long way.
I didn't want to
for
sound
real.
crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's a great idea. We all do it.
They come from the weirdest places,
Exactly. Hmm.
I think. Yeah.
Did you have any like podcasters that you look up to? Like,
Not necessarily, because you know how it's kind of difficult because it's like you want to have your own thing without like the inspirations of like outside people. So I tried to actually close my doors to other podcasts and just like do what I wanted to do and kind of like do my own thing instead of like looking at other podcasts. But I do not like podcasts, but I mentioned it in one of the episodes, but it's like instead of podcasts, a little bit more like readily available, but like on Instagram where you have like inspirational quotes and like day-to-day like things that you should do for yourself, for your well-being. That's like kind of my thing now instead of the podcast. But like favorite podcasts, I think I love the ones that that kind of like make you just like a little bit happier, like a little bit like loosened up vibes. Like, have you guys seen Timothy Delgado's new
No
Chaser?
No Chaser?
No Chaser?
Yeah,
Yo,
I've seen that.
that's a good one.
Pretty good.
I like that. It's like a nice like unwinding podcast. A little bit more than the PG-13, but
explicit.
It's fun. It's fun.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know he had a podcast.
No, it's
Dang.
actually pretty
new.
good.
It's
Yeah,
very
really
new
good. It's
too.
really good.
It's very new too.
And he talks about like when like the Asian rap era and stuff like that too. Like
J-Rise.
back all the way back. Yeah.
Yeah, he talks a lot about
Yeah.
like when he used to grow up, like
Exactly.
when he was like in the cliques and stuff.
Yeah, what kind of
growing
defined
up.
him as he
Yeah.
is today. It's pretty
It's
good.
dope.
Because I know David So started one too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, David So's is pretty sweet.
Genius brain.
Genius
Yes.
brain.
Oh, did he?
He flipped the whole channel. Like it's not David So comedy anymore. It's just
Yeah.
straight up just Genius brain.
Mm-hmm. And
pretty
Bart and
cool.
Gio's podcast is dope too. They're very open about a
Yeah.
lot of things.
Yeah.
on
Wow.
the podcast. Yeah.
We're just JK News.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Like mine was I got a lot of my inspiration from the H3 podcast. Do you know
Yes.
H3?
Yes.
Yeah, those guys. I love Ethan from H3. That guy's fucking hilarious. Like it's just
So
like
jokes.
so jokes. It's like he's just telling a story and like he rambles off. He goes a little off
That's okay.
topic, but then like in the end, it's like it just comes together and it's just
Yeah.
a bunch of laughs. I mean, it's so funny. It's so
I love
funny.
that. I love a good storyteller. It's always really good.
And I listen to like random TED Talks too. So
Nice, me too.
Yeah.
I can get lost on that side of YouTube very often.
Oh, me too. Me too.
Yep.
So much inspo. Congratulations on season 1. Amazing. 11
Thank you so
episodes.
much. 13?
13.
13.
Oh my
Because
goodness.
13 is my
Wow.
favorite number.
Oh.
And
Amazing.
my birthday's on the 13th. And
All
there's-
right. Happy belated. by
Thank
the way.
you, thank
Yeah.
you. And there's like, thank you. There's like 26 letters in the alphabet, so I was thinking cut it in half for One Word Wonder, and then the next half maybe for season 2, maybe.
When season 2 comes.
I don't know yet, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, relax a bit, you know, and like
For sure, it's a
prepare
lot
a
of
bit.
Mhm.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, thanks though, guys. No, it's been great. It's been like, I don't know if you guys have experienced it too, but it's very like the feedback gets very like, it like exceeds your expectations, because like my main goal with the podcast was to like, having it been like an advice podcast was to help one soul out there,
Yeah.
right? And then like the more episodes I put out, the more like anonymous questions came in, a lot of just like friends commenting, a lot of like close friends that I haven't talked to in forever had like pitched in and said what they wanted with the podcast. I'm like, god damn, like if that's more than one person, it's exceeded my expectations. So I don't know if you guys have ever been like that, but it's a super like heartwarming experience, and I'm so grateful for season 1. I'm so excited for season 2. It's been dope. It's been so dope.
Yeah.
What's in store for season 2? What's new?
Oh well,
Is that allowed? Is that
Is
allowed?
that allowed? Is that an appropriate question?
Is that part of the contract?
well, I actually wanted to, like, with it being season 1, I wanted to just make it very like intimate and have just the voices. So season 2, I wanted to maybe incorporate a visual.
Hey,
of some
Oh.
sort.
part of the question, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
We just like from audio based.
Because I never even noticed that. Like, I was like, oh yeah, the audio portion of it. I was too caught up with like everything else that I was like, oh yeah. Visual.
Yeah, but
But yeah, I'm about it for season 2.
I like that too. I shared that recently actually. It's very humbling, like to have all this feedback from all the fans and everything. We appreciate every single one of you guys. Thanks for listening and tuning in. But the other day, I just finished playing like volleyball, so I was just walking back to my friend's car, and then like on the way out, this guy stops me. His name is Hamid. Shout out to Hamid.
He just stops you.
He stops me. He's like, bro, I've seen you somewhere. You're on that podcast, right? And I'm like, yeah. Like you watch. He's like, bro, that's so sick. He like daps me up. I'm like, dude, no way. I was like so happy. Like this is the first time I've ever been confronted about it face to face.
A stranger too.
By a stranger, I
too.
really
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's
I don't
amazing.
know this guy.
I've gotten
Like,
those too, like random DMs on IG from like girls that I don't know, like talking about like a certain story that myself or like another like female guest of mine have opened up about, and like she would type up a huge message, and it's like for someone to take time out of their day to come and message me or like come and talk to you and introduce themselves to you, like, oh, that's huge. Love that.
It's
So humbling.
incredibly,
So dope.
incredibly,
So dope.
so dope. We wanted to. This is your little surprise that we were talking about earlier.
I'm
but,
scared. Like, for those of you who don't, I hate surprises, you. I'm scared. I'm like moving back.
It's not even
Like
a
we-
surprise.
That's how surprising it is.
like,
What is this?
we love the podcast, and one of the things that we really love from it is one of your segments.
I'm so scared.
It's like something we really liked, or Aaron particularly. He liked the one word wonder segment.
Yes.
Like that. Such a genius thing. And like we want for this episode, we actually wanted to implement it.
Ooh. G-Town X Oreos guidance cookies.
There you go.
Right
So
here.
in celebration of our 9th episode,
Oh.
the 9th letter of the alphabet is I.
Oh,
And
gosh.
the word that we came up with, we want to give to you is inspiration. So
Yo.
take the floor.
Oh, there it is.
Take the floor. We're out of here.
It's all you.
That's literally what I say. I hate you. You have the floor. That's what I say. Because I'm like, I don't want to touch it. You go first, because I don't know what to say.
So now your
I
turn.
usually feed off of what the person says first. What was the inspiration?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. I think as like a creative, it's very key to stay inspired, or else you kind of feel like you're like sludge, like you don't feel very, like you don't feel like very, what is that? Like eager to really pursue more, like tackle on more projects. And so I don't know, I find also you can find inspiration in like the littlest things. Like that's me. Like if like for example, like when it's nice outside, I get inspiration from that. Like, or if I hear like a nice song, I get inspiration from that. It's really weird. It's really weird.
It's everywhere.
But it's everywhere. I found that it's everywhere, and as long as you're constantly like looking out for it, you can always be inspired. But I know that there are some times, especially as like an artist or a dancer, as a creative, there's those moments where it kind of lags and you feel like you're not inspired and you're kind of like in the spot where you're like, what am I doing with myself? But then that's always something that's really difficult. But you always just have to remember, like, inspiration is everywhere. Even if like you have like I was talking about this with someone else the other day, where it's like I find more inspiration like when it comes to dance. Like instead of going and taking a dance class with like a particular teacher or whatever, I found more inspiration like going out for beers or something with some friends, and like just having those like connections and like those conversations is a lot more inspirational to me than like actually being in a dance class and like seeing the art itself. Yeah, is that kind of...
No, I feel the same way.
So, yeah.
Sometimes like we have for the podcast, like we kind of run out of ideas to talk about. Like, what should we talk about next?
For sure.
But when we're just hanging out, like not talking about it,
Yeah.
that's when we come up with the best ideas too.
Yeah.
It's
Like the flows.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's sometimes, like, that's always really difficult too, because you kind of wish that you had like a camera or a microphone at that time recording your conversations.
All the time. I feel that all the time.
But do you guys, do you find that too as podcast people? Do you see like the clear cut of your conversation when you press record and when you don't have it recording? Like when you guys stop playing record, do you feel like you actually like revert back to who you actually are, and you're kind of like, oh, I wish that was me on when we were recording? Or because I've had those moments too, or at least my guests have, where like when we stop recording and they're like, oh, I should have said this, or like, sorry, I wanted to say this but I wasn't sure, and I'm like, no, like just you're just supposed to be yourself,
Personally, everyone should answer this around the table.
Yeah.
So, but personally, for me, I feel like I'm the same.
Yeah.
Like in most ways, I do my best to just be yourself on the podcast.
Yeah.
Like being as is, you just have to really just take the bull and run with it. Run with the horns. Just like let it just flow out.
I know.
Really. So
yeah.
it's if it's one thing, just it's not really like confidence. It's like sorry.
It's like kind of nerves. It's like a mix of nerves. And
that's
all
what
that
makes you
stuff,
be
too.
like say like these things other than the things you want to say and all that.
For sure.
But for me though, I feel like I'm
You are who you are.
Yeah,
on
I
this
am who I am.
podcast. That's good. Yeah.
I'm with Brendan. I think that for the most part, I'm the same. Like I like to ask questions.
Yeah.
So whenever there's a question, I'll ask it. It might be the right time, might be the wrong time. That's the only regret I have after the podcast.
True.
But I feel as if when I'm on here, whatever I have to say, I said it, I think.
Yeah, that's good.
What about you?
I feel the opposite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like through these podcasts, I watch them over and I feel like sometimes like I should have said this. I should have said this.
Yes.
And then usually after the episode ends, the question just comes to me, you know.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to find that flow through like each episode, and like,
Yeah.
it kind of gets better each episode. To just kind of just forget
For
and just, like,
sure.
to be in the moment.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And, like I don't know, just
I
be immersed in it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard though, for sure, when you have like the "we're live" button,
Yeah.
like blinking.
Yeah.
No, yeah. For
The
sure.
nerves still like really crample up behind your head, and you're like, oh,
I know.
be here, you know.
Right. Right.
How about you guys? What do you guys have to say for
Inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I have the same answer as you too. Sorry, I don't mean to cheat. But,
Yeah.
but then like there's inspiration everywhere. Right?
Yeah.
So it's like I find inspiration in family, like
Yeah.
love, friends. Like this
Yeah.
podcast is like it's something I'm truly passionate about, and I really want to just keep it going.
Respect, dude. Mm.
Because like my one true goal about the podcast is like bringing everyone together.
Yes.
In a sense, like I want to put Guildford on the map, and like regardless if no one's listening or not, our voices are out there.
Yeah.
So
Respect.
any listen is fine with me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, like that's pretty much it.
Respect.
Mm.
Love it. How about you guys?
Inspo.
Inspiration. I usually get it like through like my friends and family usually.
Mhm.
But like what does like what is inspiration though? Like is it like when like
Yeah, go on.
it's like to me inspiration's like when you see something and like you kind of gravitate toward
Yeah.
it in a way, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's a motivating factor in a way too, right? So like if I see like my friends do something and like I dig it, then I kind of like gravitate towards
sure.
that, and like I kind of like get inspiration through them in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where I get it for the most part, I think.
Mm-hmm. I think that like hits home with me when it comes to like fashion.
That's I didn't
think
want to
that's,
say
like, the
fashion or
main
whatever. Yeah.
place I think I find like when I hear inspiration, it's just like fashion and just like all the new things that come out in the springtime and everyone's like new photos and stuff.
Exactly.
That's where I get a lot of my inspiration from. I think from like those fashion blogs.
Yeah. Right.
And
Yeah.
For me, I want to bring up Aurea's podcast because
Oh.
one of her guys, I forget his name, but he was
Ooh.
talking about
What were we
inspiration.
talking
He was talking about inspiration and how the word is just used so loosely.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and it's just like thrown around that like I listen to you guys, it's so inspiring, or
Oh yeah.
this is so inspiring, and I kind of really felt that
Yeah.
that it's being thrown loosely, that what they really mean is that like I relate to that. You know,
Yes.
like
Mhm.
that I feel that.
Was that my recent one with JP?
I think so.
oh yeah, I watched that one too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
one was
There you
JP.
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really related to that.
Yeah.
So inspiration, I think is a strong word to me. That,
It is.
I don't know.
Right. That's like that.
Yeah.
Same way, man.
Yeah.
Same way.
When
Yeah.
you feel a type of way, you just gravitate.
What if
toward
someone
it.
was like,
That's exactly what I was saying, right? Like.
what if someone told you like, yo, Vern, I'm so inspired by you. It's kind of like, no, like.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of it's big.
It's like you're an inspiration. Whoa.
Yeah, and I guess that's where like JP was coming from. It was like
Yeah.
it's kind of a lot to take, being the person who's getting
Yeah.
being said that to.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm inspiring. Like what I do.
Yeah.
You can do it too.
True.
It's kind of like levels to it.
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
right? There's kind of like
Yeah.
levels to it too. I think.
Man, I want to go around the table,
Okay.
starting with Oreo. For podcast,
Yes.
who is your guys' dream guest to have? Dream
Oh.
guest, like anyone in the world,
Anyone in the world.
anyone, even if they were dead, you can bring them back to life. I'm kidding.
Oh, dude.
Dark. But
Shoot.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know. I feel like people could probably guess who I would. Can we guess? Can you guys guess who I would my dream guest to be?
Ryan Reynolds. I don't know.
No, it's a
don't know.
girl.
You're close, man.
Close.
It's a girl. It's a girl. It's between two girls.
Kehlani.
And they're both in the music bits. No, that'd be a
Beyonce.
good one though. Oh, that'd be a good one too. But
Rihanna.
no, yeah. See,
Her.
Is it a big
H-E-R.
artist?
not really.
Ella-
but I'm like a
Ella May?
stan. I'm like a stan for her.
Lana
If you
Del
guys know what
Rey.
that means. No.
There's so many.
Give us
Yeah,
a hint.
yeah.
Give
You
us
gotta
a
give
hint.
us a hint. Like
Oh,
what kind of
genre.
genre?
J-Lo.
Genre.
No. No, J-Lo would be dope though. Like R&B soul.
It's a girl, right?
It's a girl.
She alive, right?
It's a girl. I don't know. Like I've just been in love with her since forever.
I was gonna say something really dumb.
I'm thinking real hard.
Lively?
Blake Lively is an actor.
Who's that?
I want to guess Ceston, but I don't know.
It would help if you guys have known me for a long time and like
Yeah,
you guys knew
definitely.
like my music taste and literally like she's like my spirit animal and I like carry her around with me everywhere. I love her.
That's why we're here to learn.
Okay, I'll give you a hint. She's like partially Asian. And she's a Pisces too.
And a
Oh,
Pisces.
that helps. Yeah. Now I know. Yeah. Not shaking.
She's artist. Asian.
It's partly Asian.
Partly Asian.
Janaea Iko?
Janae?
Yeah.
Oh my.
No way.
How do you
Got it,
Oh,
yo.
yeah.
I saw her live
Yeah.
I
a
have
couple months
to.
back.
Yeah. Oh, where did you see her?
What's that?
Where did you see her?
I knew because she was.
Where was she? She was at the Vogue Theater. So like a couple months ago.
Those are the best concerts, man.
When? I'm like, when? I missed this.
Like
Like she was here like 2 years back. In November.
No. She was here like I swear. She was here 2018.
Yo.
She was here 2018.
Ultra fan right here, man. It's you versus her, bro.
Okay. But yeah, I would love to have her. Like I feel like I connect with her like in a spiritual level. I would just love to sit down and just have a conversation with her. She like actually made me look into like Buddhism. So when I went to Hong Kong, I saw like the Tian Tan Buddha, which is like one of the bigger like tourist spots there, and like she inspired me to go check it out. Just like through her music and through her like essence, you know? Yeah, I'd love to have her. Or Cardi B. I don't know why.
I don't know why.
Not a Cardi B fan, but that'd be funny.
She's so inspirational to so many females these days. You know that?
Yeah, her story is an interesting
Oh,
one,
for
but,
sure.
Yeah, but I'm not a big fan of her music, I don't think. But her story is quite inspirational.
I like her because she's like really genuine. Like,
Oh, yeah, she's out there, man.
Yeah.
She's very bubbly.
For sure.
Beyond.
You guys, who's your dream podcast?
Soldier Boy. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Soldier Boy.
Drake!
With his Gucci headband.
No, mine.
He actually boycotted that though.
Didn't he?
Yeah, because Gucci black. No, I don't want to get into it. I could get into it, but
Podcast after hours.
Who's your guys' base?
Fuck, I would have like top two. We'll go around. I'll go around one more time after Ern.
Okay.
I'll say
yeah,
mine.
dude, I'm trying to think, man. I
But-
wanna, yeah, but my first person that came up, you can.
Or you can go first.
Frank Ocean.
Oh,
Shit,
jeez.
Have you
bro.
seen him live?
No.
this guy didn't even tour.
Oh.
Apparently he's
no
a
way.
dream to see live. I've never seen
God.
him live either, but I've
Man, I
heard.
see like all these like YouTube videos. Like he's like at the small shows. Like
Yeah.
He like
Peony.
never performs live anymore.
Fuck, that'd be a dream. Though. See him live or have him on the podcast, man. I don't know what we're talking about, but like, hey man, like, like
Just
d-
talk.
d-
Just
depict
talk.
depict Nikes for me.
Oh yeah, just break it down.
Dude, that'll be like a 3-hour episode right there, yo. He's trying to tell me about
Yeah.
Nikes.
Oh,
He's like, I'm in the
geez.
car. I was in the car. These
I love
bitches
that.
want Nike, like that. Is that shit like that? And then, but yeah, I forgot my second guy, but we'll go around. But Frank Ocean.
I forgot that quickly.
One person I like to have on the podcast actually is from Vancouver,
Ooh.
and his name is Nardwar.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Damn, that's my guy.
Anybody who watches like YouTube interviews, like knows Nardwar, and he's just
He's
such
dope.
a character, you know, and like
He's
just-
been around for a while
yeah,
too.
and he's from our hometown, so it's
Mhm.
like, I don't know. I'd like to ask him a lot of stuff, and like his experiences. Like, he has a bunch of stories to tell, I'm sure.
Oh, I bet.
Oh yeah, because
And,
he's more of like a person that like, oh, you tell me your story and not
Mhm.
ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for
yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
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 It's like-
Yeah.
Has there ever been an interview when someone interviewed him?
No way, no.
No.
I don't think
I
so.
don't think, did
I don't
people
think it does
want
that.
to know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
sure there's people out there, but I
Pretty
don't
sure he
know.
works for like the FBI or something.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
How does he know that?
How does he know all this?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's nuts.
He's like-
All the
man.
artists are like,
Yeah.
how'd you know that? Did you see the one where like he ran away from Nardwar? Who was the artist that ran away
Lil
from
Uzi?
Nardwar? Yeah, when he was
yeah,
here.
no,
at the concert.
he
was like, "You know too much."
You know too much.
Yeah, that's
Right away.
crazy, right?
Yeah. There's people who actually refuse to do interviews with him
Because they're like too
Yeah,
freaked out of what
he's
kind of
he's
dirt.
an
Pizarro?
inside man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite reactions from one of the Narver videos was Tyler the Creator.
Oh yeah, he had
yeah.
the best. He had one of the best reactions.
Because like his reactions were just like off the top. He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah,
How'd you know
yeah,
that?"
He's always like.
Yeah, I know
that.
that.
It's like he didn't know if whether to be mad or like concerned or like he's like what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I love is like he digs so deep in like to their childhood. Like
Mhm.
your dad liked this music. He pulls out an old record of
Yeah.
like I'm like what?
Yeah,
Dude,
dude, it's crazy. It's like, did you know your dad was in this album? It's like, and then the guy didn't even know that like his dad has like
Yeah.
music background. He made like an album and in a vinyl.
Wow.
Yeah,
He's in it.
bro.
Like one of my favorite ones was the Kendrick Lamar one, and he's
Yeah.
like, it was like really old. Kendrick Lamar like just
The whole bunch.
He just, like-
Louisiana chicken or whatever.
yeah, he's just like started out as a new artist, and if you watch it now, it's just like it's really awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Crazy.
People want to put him and Sean Evans together.
Oh.
You know the guy from Hot Ones?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I love Hot Ones.
That guy's an amazing interviewer too, man.
That would be
You
good.
put those two and two together, like
I-
those two, man. They would
I actually
kill it.
have Sean Evans here too.
Yeah, I would want.
Would you guys ever be on Hot Ones? Dude.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
No.
But
If my life was ever if my
Yeah.
life was ever interesting.
I know, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I'd love to be a
It's
part
like
of
so
that,
you're a
but-
student, okay.
What about you?
I would have Christopher Nolan.
Ooh.
Yeah, because I'm a big fan of his movies.
Yes.
I would just like, I think like just sitting in a room with him and like
Mhm.
talking about his creative processes
Yeah.
or processes, with all his movies, like particularly like Interstellar and
Yeah.
Inception, and
Yes.
how like well done they were and how close they actually were from release dates. It's like it's
Yeah.
something that people overlook. It's kind of like when you're a director, it's a lot of work and every idea matters, right?
Mhm.
But how did he come up with such a crazy idea one after the other? I just want
Yeah.
to see his creative
Yeah.
process
Yeah.
on that. Like how long it
Yeah.
took him to get Inception as like the movie or Interstellar as the movie or The Dark Knight as that movie,
Yeah.
right? And all his movies are legendary, absolutely legendary. It's just such a beautiful mix of art and action all in
Yeah.
one,
Mhm, mhm.
and science even,
I
and
agree.
science even. It's so awesome. I think my mind would just be blown to even talk to Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
That's a good.
Yeah,
Answer.
if he's a talker. I don't know.
Oh
There's
yeah.
people
What if
that-
he's like
yeah.
just weird and he's
Yeah, right.
These are my ideas.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
My second guy. I got it. Sorry. How did I forget about him? I was thinking about him like all week. Like later, like Jordan Peele.
Oh,
Yeah.
Us.
That's a good one too.
Us is coming out this weekend.
Bro,
Mhm.
I'm watching the first show in the theaters.
What?
7 p.m.
TFTI.
On you just come through, just buy tickets right now.
All right.
Oh yeah, as if it works that way, bro.
Yes, it does.
On Friday?
Thursday.
I'm sure it's sold out, bro.
Y'all come with you?
Let's go.
Okay.
Buy tickets right now.
Yo.
Stop the podcast.
I'm done.
Is there a reason why though? Like Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele. I've been watching that guy for so long. Like Comedy Central, all those skits
Mad
on YouTube.
TV, bro.
It's genius, man.
Key and Peele.
Key and
Yeah.
Peele.
Which one's your favorite episode from Key and Peele?
Oh.
There's
It's
too
too
many.
many. Like
But the first few that pops in your head is probably your favorite. ones.
Obama. He's shaking all the people's
Oh,
hands.
yeah. Very well. Very
My
well.
man. sees the white guy and he's
My
like,
brother.
nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Oh
Nice to
my
meet you.
gosh. I haven't watched Get Out yet. I've been too scared to.
Oh
It's-
my
it's-
God! Why would
it's
you
not-
say that?
It's not really scary.
Is it not scary?
It's not scary. It's
See, when people
kind
say
of
that.
psychological.
It's cryptic,
Yeah, that's what I
man.
heard.
It's
Yeah.
not scary,
It's not
but
scary,
make you
but
think.
it really makes you think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll make you uncomfortable. In
Oh,
a way.
definitely.
Like, it's
But
just like,
it's those kinds of movies that are so rare. You have to watch it a second time, and it's 100 times better than the first
Yeah,
time.
See.
3 times over, maybe even.
Yeah, yeah. So it's,
Really?
it's one of those movies that really get even better as you watch it
Mhm.
again and again and again.
Mhm, mhm.
Okay.
So it's that kind of movie.
Okay.
But anyway, if I could interview someone, I would probably.
Get it, sister.
Where am I?
Get it,
I'm right there.
sister.
If I could bring him back to life, I would interview Steve Jobs.
Oh.
Ooh.
Heard that guy was an asshole though.
Was
I
he?
know he
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
but he had a brain of a maniac, man.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
he
yeah,
would
yeah.
come up with the craziest
Yeah.
things and actually put it to life.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's what I liked about him.
Yeah.
Sure, he was a nasty guy. Like he took
Yeah.
Steve Wozniak's all
Yeah.
ideas and took credit
And
for it.
cheated his family, but that
Yeah.
like you're just interested in his
How-
art
yeah.
and his
Yeah.
his intelligence and
Yeah, and
sorts,
how
right?
he thinks of that kind of stuff. He was, I would put him next to Elon Musk, like the modern day artist. You know, back then people would
for
draw,
easily.
like Da Vinci.
Yeah.
They would be drawing like airplanes and helicopters before
Right.
years before
Yeah,
they
yeah,
were
yeah,
even
yeah.
actually started
Yeah.
to be thought of.
Mm-hmm.
So I think of him in that way.
Yeah, he is the modern day. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Dang.
That's a really good one.
Oh man. But yeah.
Those would be
Like-
crazy podcast episodes.
Right?
Damn.
We should put everyone together. Every one of us, whatever we said, together in a room.
Whoever
It'll be
we
like
mentioned.
Endgame.
Yeah, whoever we mentioned in one room.
What if you had everyone in the past episodes in one episode?
That'd be sick.
I would feel bad because not everybody would be able to talk. And a lot of people would just be like standing.
Just chilling.
doing that, you know?
Oh, I want to see us have like, how funny, like a troll episode. Just have like 15 people in one episode.
That'd
Imagine
be
I like fight for the
crazy.
camera and stuff.
was just like-
no, I'm talking.
She's
It's
like,
like
so much.
full.
Crazy.
I want to move on to like lifestyle kind of things. The key word or key topic is confidence is key, and pretty much like our overall theme for today was like we're kind of going towards like Aurea's podcast kind of thing, but as an advice you guys can give to the audience, like what for confidence, what's something that advice you can give to people breaking out of their comfort zone?
Oh.
That's hard because I feel like everybody will kind of find that niche for them
Mhm.
at like the randomest time,
Mm-hmm.
and they won't even know that they're going through it until like once they're beyond that point. And so I don't know if like anybody has really tuned in or has really like seen how I was before, but I was never really like, I wouldn't say I was the most confident person, but I was never like out there. Like I was never like posting on social media as much as I was now. Like it was just never my thing. I love being private. I love doing my own thing on my own. And so in a way I found confidence through that.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like some people's confidence definition would be so different.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I think what had helped for me was at the time I was only like singing and like performing at bars and cafes. That helped build up my confidence. Yeah, you guys know like Quattro Coffee?
Yeah.
Yeah, freaking perform there in the summer. So
Word.
weird.
By Save
Yeah.
On Foods?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But like no one would really know because like I never really like, you know,
That's cool.
advertised it like I would have now if I ever performed there.
Uh-huh.
Like
Mhm.
I did that like back in grade 9 and grade 10, like first year, second year university. But I think after that turning point, it became like dance, and dance was that big turning point for confidence for me. And I think it's just about like finding what feels very true to yourself and like where you feel the most yourself and like you feel like, you know, all your walls are down and you're just doing things and you're purely just doing things just for the heck of it, and you're just doing it to be happy because it makes you happy.
Mm-hmm.
I think that like feed off of that and be like that's probably where you're gonna get a lot of your confidence from. That's where it can really build from that experience. I think it's all about just finding that, and like sometimes it does take like trial and error.
Mm-hmm.
But after that I feel like you're on your way, man. You're on
Yeah.
your way.
You'll get there.
Yeah.
Everyone will get there.
It'll be hard though.
It's hard.
It takes time.
It
Oh,
takes
heck
time.
yes.
You never know when it's gonna come.
Yeah.
Where you find that platform for yourself and like feel truly solidified about
Yeah.
like where you are and like who you are
Yes.
too. For me, for breaking out and breaking out of your comfort zone and all that, mine was like I threw myself in the water kind of thing. It's
Mhm.
like because I moved around a lot. I mentioned this in the podcast several times before, but I moved around a lot when I was younger.
Yeah.
So I was always meeting new people,
Yeah.
new
Same.
people. I was a very shy kid, and like
Same.
I'd always be so self-conscious about like every decision I make and everything I say, like, whoop, that didn't sound cool.
Did you actually do that?
No. No, but I'd be like, I'd like beat myself up for it. Like, I'd say something and I'd be like, why did I say that? That kind of thing. And then, like, if it's something like growing up, I hated, like, doing, like, oral projects. Like, you have to go in front of the class and all that.
Oh, for sure.
And then I realized that, like, growing up, I actually kind of like doing that stuff. Like, just stepping in front of class and, like, presenting your project. Well, generally just speaking in front of, like, other people. Like, if it's one thing I love about, like, education, I love how teachers get kids to practice oral speech. So it builds up, like, your confidence to, like, speak out, tell your opinion, tell your story and all that. I learned a lot from that. And aside from that, from moving, meeting new people and all that, I really had to just adjust. So that's
water.
pretty much.
Yeah, look what you're doing now, man.
Yeah.
I feel like this is public speaking on a
This
big
was
scale.
this is like a years of experience kind of thing. So
Yeah.
like myself and Aurea said, like it comes with time. It comes with time for getting into your comfort zone with yourself, basically. Gaining confidence. How about you guys?
I think that confidence is like, it comes with preparation. And like what I mean by that is, like, you know how like in a school environment, like I think that, let's say, like if you're so nervous of speaking in public or like speaking towards a group of people, it might be because you're not prepared for it, in the sense of like when you want to show for confidence, you have to know what you're getting yourself into. So like let's say that like you said, you sang at Quattro or whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's like, how did you prepare for that? Like, you practiced and you practiced and you practiced and you practiced, and then you went there. And then as you keep preparing, you kind of like build up confidence. So like, I think that if anybody wants to like get out there, just prepare yourself for what you're getting yourself into, and like truly understanding what you're getting out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And just to add on to that, like, preparing for, what'd you say, like, what you're getting yourself into?
Yeah.
Prepare yourself for the good stuff and for the bad stuff.
Exactly.
Because like you had mentioned, like, you can prepare as much as you want for a performance or for any speech or presentation. And you're still going to mess up. You're still going to have those, like, slurs and stuff. So prepare for the worst. Prepare for anything. For anything.
And it's, like, all under an umbrella of confidence. It's how you
it'll build up. For sure.
Mr.
I think you guys killed it. you guys killed it. You got every point, you know? I don't know. I feel like for confidence, you just try to like build a foundation, kind of like know what makes you happy.
Yeah.
And like just trying to find like comfort in that. And that like if you know that you're doing what makes you happy, and like someone else, they can't really tell you wrong, you know? Cause
that's right.
That's what matters at the end of the day. Like, your own happiness kind of thing. It's like, no, you can't be happy. It's like, that's not right.
You can't tell me what to do.
Yeah, so, I don't know, try to, y'all killed it.
Stand your ground, build on yourself, because in that way, building confidence kind of just comes with that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Comes with time.
For sure.
Quattro Cafe. That's
nice.
My
gosh.
But you sing. Do you play instruments as well?
I do.
You
yeah.
play...
So, ukulele, piano, and I taught myself how to play guitar back in grade 4.
That's
and
it.
like, there's still like home videos of me in grade 4 back in Prince George in my elementary school with a big like guitar, way too big for me. I was like what grade was that? I don't even know. Grade 5, just playing this guitar.
Lovely.
And that's where it started.
Nice.
Yeah, and I have like 2 guitars now, and I stopped, but I really want to try to get into it. But like dance has been, I think, taking up most of my time. So yeah.
From I played instrument too.
Well,
I wasn't supposed to. But then
how are you not supposed to play
in the
instrument?
8th grade, for some reason, my mom enrolled me into like band class. I have no idea how that happened. Like I didn't have a choice. I was just like, I'm looking at like my class schedule. I'm like, why do I have band?
Did your mom pick your classes for you?
I think so. I think so. I don't know. And then I was in
the
band.
electives?
And then I'm like, why am I here? Fuck. And then like, and then like the whole 8th grade, I faked band the whole year. I got an A. I'm like, no way.
Yo.
And then I'm like, I played the flute.
Oh, I played the flute too.
I played the flute.
I played the flute too.
It was hard. It's hard.
It is hard.
It's a flute gang.
Yeah. I can play the recorder too.
The recorder.
That too.
But the reason why I picked the flute, because my the band teacher's like giving out pamphlets like, oh, where to rent the instruments and all that.
Yeah.
Damn.
I can just
the,
imagine you
the
going through
flute
all
looks
the
pretty damn good right now. Looks pretty
lit.
cheap right now.
Oh, dude.
Holy. And then we're doing like sectionals. So
you didn't want to do the big
Oh,
trombone?
no.
The big saxophone. The tenor sax.
No. I want to do like percussion.
I knew the flute was easy to fake too.
Ah!
I knew it. Grade 6 me.
I wasn't even thinking
I knew
about
it. Yeah.
that.
I was like,
Grade 6 and ski
yeah. I didn't want to play, man. I just want to go on trips, bro.
Oh, the
We're
band
like-
trips. I
We're
never
doing
went
like
on.
sectionals. Sectionals in band is basically like each row, like each instrument play one note, and then they just test you on it.
Yeah.
So like play the C note.
You
And,
just
then,
got
and I'm
carried.
like, no, I didn't get carried. No, we do it individually.
Oh!
He go like, da,
Oh,
da,
no
da.
way.
And then I practice this one key all day. I'm like, the one time I get it right, I'm like,
Oh shit.
and then like he's like, Brandon, good job, man. Good. Next person. And
It's hard to get it going too. You have to have the right like angle.
I know.
Good
That, yo,
times.
it's tough, man. But I want to go around. What's top 3 or top 2 your favorite music artists and why? A quick reason why.
Bruh.
There's so many to pick from.
Starting with who?
Starting with you.
Starting
because-
with you.
Yeah, and I'll go last.
Um,
I'm trying to think.
currently?
No, like all time or
What's
currently.
mine?
Top 3. You can do top 3 or top 2.
Okay, I'm just gonna say Brent Fayez
Oh
Yes.
yes, sir.
Oh yes.
and Party Next Door, because they have like a variety of, like, they don't just make one type of music, right?
Mhm.
They make like dance music, like slow music,
Mhm.
like late night driving music.
Yeah.
And why I chose those two, because they have really good writing. Just like, it doesn't matter about like the instrumentals, but I really care about like the writing,
Mhm.
and I feel like they're really authentic, and I don't know, I really relate to the writing.
Yeah.
Really good writers.
To the audience, Aaron's actually a big Party Next Door fan.
Where has Party
Just-
Next Door been though?
I don't know. He's
Good thing you brought him up. I have no idea. He's always in features, but I haven't
Yeah.
seen him come out with his own project.
He's running for
yet.
Rihanna. I'm sure. He's running for Rihanna, and then once her album comes out, his album is gonna come out.
Okay. Maybe.
Oh.
Apparently he's not the greatest live.
Yeah.
Oh, I did see
I've
him
seen
live
him
at
once,
OVO Fest.
but-
It's not that good.
Yeah, he's not the greatest. He's not the greatest.
But he makes good music.
Mm.
Good
How about you?
choices, I approve.
I can't even think of anything, man. Like.
There's
Soldier
Spotify.
Boy, man.
Yes, big soldier. I wouldn't say I'm a big Meek Mill fan, but like I
Show the shirt,
like,
show the shirt.
I like Meek Mill.
Yee.
He's like one of my favorite current artists. I like his story too, how he came up, how he went down, and how he's currently coming back up.
Mhm.
And I like Khalid,
Yes.
the industry plant.
Why are you
No,
not saying? He's a
I do. I actually.
Name 3 Khalid songs.
18. Yeah, you're right.
Bad
It's not
Baby.
Khalid. It's not
Bad
Khalid.
Why?
Bad
He's
Baby.
getting he's
Are you actually trolling right now?
No,
That's so
I
good.
I like his music, but like
So
I just
sad.
that's the first name that popped off.
Alright.
I'm trying to think.
Bad Baby.
Bad Baby.
I fucks with Bad Baby too. She's pretty good.
His story about how he became a songwriter is crazy.
Really?
I don't know if you heard about it, but he opened up about it on like a Vivo talk.
Oh,
Pretty much when
I'd
he
be
was like
interested
just
too.
fresh out of high school.
Yeah.
He like wrote his first song and it was Location.
Really?
And it was
Yeah, I
like a
love that
hit.
song too.
And then it just went from there. Crazy.
Pretty crazy.
I think
He's,
it's
like,
kind of
super young
sketchy
right
how
now.
he came up though. I don't want to get into that though. It's kind of sketchy how he came up like real fast. Like how
Yeah,
like
how did that happen?
Yeah.
Good management.
I don't know
Skinny
about that
management.
one. Yeah, I
His voice
think
is so
so.
different though. You gotta admit.
I love
it's
it.
very different.
love it.
I
He
love
definitely
the sound.
isn't generic, but it's just like how he came up with like 18 locations and then out of nowhere,
Coaster, all that stuff.
boom, music video. I don't know. It's kind of
Oh.
like, but I don't want to get into that.
You got speculations.
I don't want to get into that. What about you? I so just Meek Mill right now that I can truly say that I actually like and listen to every one of his songs.
Tiger, Soldier Boy. Kidding.
Tiger not bad though.
Tiger.
Tiger 2010 went bad.
Yeah, Tiger 2010.
Yeah, Tiger 2010 went bad. He went bad.
Yeah.
You know, Tyga's going to, what is it, UBC's
What?
Summer Jam or whatever.
Shut up.
You gotta be there then. You gotta play Rock City.
Dude, that's the song, yo.
Yo.
No.
He's gonna be there.
Uh,
I don't know how, but
number one, always in my heart, Frank Ocean.
Yeah.
My man.
dang.
Frank Ocean, that guy
Should've
just...
known.
Why? Because that guy just sings... whatever
Oh, The
fuck he
Weeknd.
wants.
Oh.
The Weeknd. My bad.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
100%.
replacement.
My bad.
Okay,
He's dope.
top three.
Yeah.
Meek Mill.
The Weeknd.
The Weeknd.
And Khalid.
And Khalid. Okay.
Bye.
Mine, Frank Ocean. That's my number one.
Yes.
Always my go-to guy. I can listen to
Oh, nice.
Nostalgia Ultra. I can listen to Blonde. I can listen to Channel Orange all over again. So that can be just it, like the whole playlist. My number three. I'm gonna skip number two.
Number two, bro.
Yeah. Number three. Right now, at the moment,
Yeah.
he's like currently, Brent Faiyaz.
Yes.
Mhm.
If you guys don't know who Brent Faiyaz is, if you guys know
Don't
Gold
sleep
Link, Crew,
Yeah.
you see money all around me. That song,
So good.
crazy song. And right now, number two. Oh, sorry. Why I like Brent Faiyaz? He's dope. He's just chill. Good vibes. I love his voice. That's why. Number two. Damn.
Oh, so you didn't have a number two?
No.
I thought you were saving number.
Number two. Man, yeah, I'm really stuck. That's why. Really stuck.
Mainstream Drake.
Oh, Drake will always be there. That's like
Drake will always be a legend, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Drake's at least top 100. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Number two, Daniel Caesar.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
That guy, pure
he's
soul.
so good.
I just vibe with him so much, man. Like, I'm so sad that I missed his concert in Vancouver. That's when he was like starting to blow up a bit.
And he had 2 dates too.
He had 2 dates, and the tickets were like what, $40, $60.
Yeah,
Can I
it's like
say a
60
funny
or something.
story?
Yeah.
You met him?
No. Oh, well, I touched him 3 times that night. It was
Damn,
great.
I wish that was you.
But I bought 2 tickets for this concert. They were, I think, $20 each.
Shut
jeez.
up, man.
They were 20. So
No,
I,
that they sold out. Like
they
that.
sold out so quick. So I bought 2 for like, oh shit, like an anniversary present. But we didn't need the anniversary present no more. So I had a freebie
okay.
ticket.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh, I'll just put it on like Facebook, whatever, to sell it. And I finessed somebody. Oh, I feel so bad. I finessed somebody like $120 for that ticket.
That's
Damn.
not bad.
I made $100 profit. I feel so bad. I'm so sorry, but I had a
It's
great
fair
time.
game.
I ended up going with my little sister and her best friend. It was a great time, but Daniel
Lovely.
Caesar's dope live. Oh, wow.
Dude. It's okay. That amount's actually not that bad. I've
That's
heard,
not too bad.
Yeah,
right?
that's
like,
not even that
I
bad.
heard
just feel
people
bad 'cause I
buy,
went through that.
back at the whole high school, JH, I heard like these girls bought these tickets and they fucking finessed the game. They
Wow.
sold those tickets like $200.
Wow.
I ain't kidding, bro. They didn't even go, bro. Like,
Wow.
they didn't even go,
Take it.
man. Like,
Just-
come on.
Damn.
Dang.
I was trying to find tickets so bad for that.
Yeah, they
For
were
me,
so
my girl.
expensive. They were so expensive.
It's like
On
one.
resale.
Yeah, resale. Yeah.
And there's not even. I was actually willing to buy resale for me and my girl, but there was no one doing resale at that time. I was like, come on.
Damn.
Anyways,
Aw.
top 3 or top 2.
Number 1, Janae, because she's my stan. I'm a stan for Janae Aiko. She's dope. Just come, yeah, she's just dope. Two, I've like, I love like underground artists. I always feel really sad when like an underground artist blows up because I'm like, oh, no, now everybody knows how great you are, but like props. But I think another person would be, I just had him. Aaron Ray. And Takers. See, that's all underground.
Give us a song. Give us a song.
Album Platinum Fire.
No. Sorry, not really.
Yeah, just
like, is there like a popular song he got right now?
No.
No.
Huh?
Okay.
But it should be because he's so good. Oh, sorry.
Kind of genre?
It's okay.
It's I would say it's like soul, hip hop.
Oh,
he's dope. He's so dope.
Aaron Ray. I know a song.
Aaron Ray.
He's a pretty new artist, isn't he?
He's a pretty new artist.
Yeah.
He's so good.
I saw an ad from him on Instagram.
Me too.
For
Like,
sure.
no, like, dude, I know
You
a
should
song.
listen to the ad, man. Go just click his page.
Yeah.
But what was I gonna say? He's so good. He like there's so many amazing new albums and so many new artists that came out with albums last year in 2018. But like out of all of them, he was like my number one. I was trying to like narrow it down. I had a conversation like with one of my friends, and number one was Aaron Ray. So you guys gotta check it out. The next one is probably she's on the come up too. Drake just featured on her thing, the Summer Walker. Oh, she like her sound is so different. She like looks super badass, but her sound and like just the things that she sings about is so dope too.
What's her name?
Summer Walker.
Summer Walker.
Girls Need Love, Karma, and that was more of like a girly vibe, but it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, always down for the underground people, underground artists. Georgia Smith too.
Oh.
Georgia Smith. Yeah.
I'm listening to Georgia Smith.
She's amazing. And then Kehlani's always been one of my favorites too.
Do you guys consider Kali Uchis? I don't know.
Kali Uchis?
Yeah. Is she still underground? Like, kind of, not really. Like, or is she like borderline now? I don't know if you guys listen to her, but I do.
I feel like
Do
she's
you have
borderline.
the blankest face right now? I don't even know any of these
Kali
artists.
Uchis. No, I'm thinking of the
This
wrong
is a
one.
music episode, guys. All the music fans come through.
Snow Allegra. Sorry, I got them
Snow
mixed
Allegra.
up. Yeah, I got them mixed up.
Oh, I
Snow
love
Allegra. Well, Kali Uchis is great too.
Yeah, I was like, Kali Uchis. She didn't
Yeah.
come out with anything new for a while. Snow Allegra.
Yeah, her voice is like
So good.
so soothing.
Have you heard her new song?
No.
I Want You Right. Oh, it's so good. Sorry, guys.
I need to blast that.
I'm like taking mental notes
But
right
like,
now. What to check
add
out.
these on your Spotify playlist now.
Yeah. Speaking of music,
Yes.
we all know you dance too. What is a song that you want to make a choreo to?
Ooh.
Like so.
That's a good one.
This is a cool question.
Yeah.
Thank you for asking. I actually have a Spotify playlist called To Choreo,
Ah.
and it's just like a bunch of like songs that I'm like, oh, I love the beat to this. Oh, I love this section. I'd love to choreo to this. And I think as a dancer, like you can freestyle to a song, but like when it comes to actually sitting down and making
Yeah.
eight counts for it, it's like the hardest thing ever. At least for me, it is. But I have a few. I would say, I don't know if you guys know the song Over and Over by Sky. She's another underground artist too. That one's really dope. It's a nice slow song.
I've heard of her.
Yes. What else do I really... Just any Janae Aiko song.
Okay.
As y'all already know.
What about DJ Mustard?
I'm
kidding. See Breezy. Yeah, no.
Goddamn. What other songs? Just any of like... maybe like some of Beyonce's newer stuff too, with her collab with Jay-Z.
Oh
Some of
fuck!
stuff.
What's that new?
Jam.
What's that new song on that album? Is it an album? Did they make an album
They
together?
did.
Yeah.
Love is everything.
Ah, fuck.
Shit.
Ape shit. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
How'd you get that? What'd you say?
Oh yeah, I hear it now.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. Thanks.
Yeah.
There you go.
The Migos actually wrote that song.
Word. Oh, that's
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
There you go.
That's why it's got that
That's
choppiness. Yeah.
What's your
The flow.
guys' favorite
Migos flow.
Migos ad lib?
Oh my
I
god.
don't even know. I barely listen
Sing
to
it.
them. I'm gonna be honest with you. I just, like,
I listen to Migos a lot, but I don't really.
Just whatever the hell they say.
They say a lot of stupid things.
Yeah, they say a lot of stupid things. I ain't from
Usually
Canada,
you
but I
repeat
got a
the
lot
last
of
word.
things.
Yeah. Take your shoes and walk on. Can do.
It's a big deal.
Oh man. Like
But yeah.
you've been dancing forever, right?
No, surprisingly not.
No. Oh.
It's kind of weird, but like I started in grade 11.
So it's
very
like
recent.
fairly new outlet then.
Very new. But like what's crazy is that I started in grade 11 when my high school friends forced me to audition for the hip hop team. And I like literally danced grade 11, grade 12, and then I stopped because of university. And then it feels like I really just picked it back up the past 2.5 years. So it feels like I've only really been in it like 2.5, 3 years all in total. Just crazy because there's so much to learn always, even for people who I know have been dancing for like 5, 10, 15 years. There's always so much to learn with that craft. It's so beautiful in that sense. Yeah.
Did you dance for your school team?
I did. Yeah, I danced for Sullivan Heights.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you dance for anyone now?
No, I kind of just like independently do my own thing. I did dance with Unity Dance Company. Their mega dance team here. I did some management and I danced around with Sovereign Dance, which is a group of boys, just like, you know.
Hey, Josh.
Hey, Sovereign Dance. And what else? And then I have like my crew back in Toronto called Yoo-Hoo. And that's pretty much my history of dancing in teams. But I really just enjoy just dancing on my own, taking class on my own, kind of learning and being a student and doing that. Yeah.
Mine ended in grade 8,
so. Come take a class, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, do it.
Nah, like I don't know, like my dance, like it's like hip hop, but then it's
Don't
my
worry.
dance has become like the street dances, like the shoo, all that shit. Like that's all I know now. I don't do all that stuff. Like I know like the whoa, you know? Just learned that recently. That's so funny. I just love all that stuff now. I'm not like super. Like,
but if you're ever trying to get in the class, sometimes I've been like trying to dive into teaching now and making my own choreo. So.
Didn't you host a dance class recently, or am I?
In Toronto, I did.
In Toronto.
Yeah,
okay,
I taught a few classes while I was there, which is so dope. But I've had experience teaching here at Douglas, which is a really nice like beginner friendly place. That's kind of like where my love like for dance re-sparked after I was like dormant for the 2 years I had mentioned before. So Sullivan's a great place to start if you guys ever want to come through. Plug. Come through.
Oh man! Recently, I remember you performed recently.
Yes.
Recently, I don't know if that was recent, but along with the Sovereign Dance crew.
Yes.
Right. Josh, this goes for you too. Sorry, move that chair so we can peek at Josh a bit. But you guys performed at Fortune recently, right? How was that? Like, I saw the snaps and everything. That was pretty dope.
It's a party every time.
All the time. That was our 6th one.
What?
Yeah, dude. Where have you been, bro?
Yeah, oh man, this is all the stuff I'm seeing on Instagram.
6-1 that week.
So it's
That is
called
dope.
Midnight Mondays, and it's like a club night at Fortune that happens before the club night actually starts.
Oh.
So it's a time. Yeah, it's a time to kind of like open up the club a little bit early.
Yeah.
To have artists and performers to give them the stage to kind of showcase what they got. So.
Okay.
Usually.
So it's not during the. I thought it was like during like.
No, but it's so dope because like right after a performance, they're like, open up the dance floor, and then everyone just comes in the center, and it turns into the club night. It's pretty lit.
That's so sick.
Shots are cheaper, and there's free church's chicken.
Free church's chicken.
Yeah.
We actually know that. But
Yeah, that's what we all know it for. We had
Like,
the
Yeah.
church's chicken.
the church's chicken on Mondays, and we're just thinking like,
Let's go.
what about the bones though? Like,
Oh,
You
yeah.
just plop them somewhere.
Hey.
No, it's no big deal.
But that's dope.
It's dope. It's a fun
Free churches.
time. Why don't you come through?
Oh, about the club life, I've
Same, dude.
I've never been a clubber.
Being from Surrey, going all the way to Vancouver, all the way downtown to.
That's a fact right there.
Yeah, it's such a bitch to do. Only on special occasions now.
It's hard,
That's
dude. You
correct.
don't even know the struggle. Well, it's a little bit easier now that we can drive,
Hmm.
but still parking and stuff.
Parking? Oh man,
Oh.
don't get me started. How
Not about
am I gonna
it.
drive the car, bro? Oh, but one
Yeah,
of
if you drive, you can't drink.
Yeah.
True.
like
you can, just not legally.
Yeah.
Stop.
But don't
You
do that.
can't.
Don't actually do that though. It's fucked up, man.
Don't.
I used to work in downtown. Fun fact: I used to work with this guy for like 3 years.
I've heard.
Yeah. But
Fun.
every time after work, I used to work at Topshop in downtown Vancouver, and all of like my coworkers, including this guy right here, is like, "Yo, let's all go to the club after." It's like a Tuesday. like, yo, I gotta go home, man. It's like
Oh, Brandon lives in Surrey. All right.
Oh, true.
I feel so bad. Like I don't know. It's like 10 o'clock. We just finished closing the store. We're like putting back all the clothes and everything. I'm tired. I want to go home.
But you guys are right on Granville, like so close to all of the. But nothing's popping on Tuesday, is there?
Oh, who knows?
Oh, celebs.
You go to celebs.
Oh, yeah,
Celebs.
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 Like, I was just a grumpy guy. I was like, oh my
It's so funny.
I want to go.
Friends like, no, I don't want to go.
No.
It's too late. I gotta go back. Just alright.
Sadly, I regret those times where I said no. But
Cause now you're like too much of a grandpa to even go out.
yeah.
I feel bad though.
But yeah. Well, we are actually gonna come into the final segments of the podcast with the final question.
Oh my gosh! Brace yourself, everybody.
We
What
asked
is
this. We asked this to every guest. At the end of each episode, we kind of like almost asked it earlier, but if we can modify it, maybe. But
On the spot?
on the spot,
Can you?
can't think of a question right now. But here's the question: the one and last final question. Is there any advice you'd like to give to our audience?
Oh my gosh. I say no. Okay. Do you ask this for everybody?
Yeah,
Like,
we do.
Advice?
Yeah.
Oh. Now I know how my guests feel when they're on my podcast. Shoot. I think just something I've recently learned is to be very unapologetic about the future you, the past you, and the present you. Whatever you had been a few years ago, a few months ago, whatever mistakes you'd made, be unapologetic about that. Continue life as it is. It's kind of like going on its own course. Find things that are like, I feel like we stress a lot these days, and I think another big thing I've learned is like really break down everything that you you have control over, and a lot of the things that you don't have control over, and just like, you know, find the balance between it all, and just, you know, do life, be happy, tell somebody you love them, tell somebody you appreciate them, share a song that will make someone's day, little things like that, to bring light to your day and someone else's as well, because I feel like there's so much of that is kind of like missed, and we kind of just like turn a shy eye to those things, and just be happy and stuff.
Live in the now.
Live
Yeah.
in the now, be
Don't worry about the
unapologetic,
past.
be you, and yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's
Like-
a good answer.
Yeah, don't. Your past self is gone.
Yeah,
That's
there's
over
nothing
and
you
done
can
with.
do.
You know what you
There's
can do?
nothing you can do
can't
with
save
that.
her no
Yeah.
more. Just don't.
So just focus on what's ahead of you or what's in the
Yes.
present.
Alrighty. Anything else? Anyone want to say anything? Ask. One last question for Aurea.
I want to ask for season
Oh.
2.
Oh,
For season 2, or
Aaron's got me thinking.
got its cookies. Are you gonna like think about
Pre-think.
like about the next one word wonders and like the guests?
Yes, I think I already do have a general gist of what I want to do. I think I'm gonna just continue where I left off. So I think I left off at M with my last one word wonder. So maybe the next one I'll pick up at N. And then if you guys are down to be guests, I'm gonna order those guys cookies.
That'd be cool because we've never been asked yet. So.
Well, I
what I was
was
thinking
asking
too.
and like throwing the questions back at you earlier, but yeah, no, that'd be dope. I'd love to have you guys on there.
That'd be dope.
I didn't know she's talking to us. She's talking to the audience. Like,
No,
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
comes.
Us.
That party.
And also, when you ask the icebreakers, do you come up with them on the spot, or just like?
Sometimes they're on the spot. And then sometimes they're just, sometimes I've like kind of thought about them and I kind of just write little
They're
notes.
really good. They're really good at
Oh,
speakers. They're really
thank
good.
you. Yeah.
It's a good way to warm up.
It is. Oh, yeah, for sure. Get the nerves out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so that is all the time that we have.
Oh,
Aurea, thank you so
sad.
much
Oh.
for hopping on the podcast with us. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Shout out to live audience. Thank you for coming.
Oh, dope. Thank you, live audience.
And shout out to Proud Man one more time. Let's go.
Let's go.
Hey. And one last. Let's go to the loading screen one last time. We always got to shout out our boy Eric every time he's not on the episode. This is the guy who does Eric Pizarro is the guy who does our visual art on our Instagram
So dope.
and for our loading screen. So whenever you guys see this, think of him, please. Before we go, thank you so much for listening and tuning in to episode number 9 of the G-Town podcast. We appreciate every eye and ear that is on the podcast. Listen to us on Spotify. Subscribe to us on YouTube.
Instagram.
Oh yeah, and follow us on Instagram as well. I always forget to say that. We have visual art by Eric there, and soon we'll have a visual art of you on the podcast, on the G-Town podcast as well. It's all done by Eric. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Shouts to him.
Shouts to him.
Can I say one last thing?
Yeah.
Shoot. Just to celebrate season 1. Like I said with these boys, like a common, very, very common, I guess, topics that came from all of the podcasts was like the same thing, like communication is key. Be happy about who you are now, and like ask for help and talk to someone when you need to. So what I'm doing, just to kind of extend Oreo's guidance cookies into the community even further, Josh, you might have to grab it from my bag quickly. But I'm doing this little fundraiser. Y'all know like the little logo that I have. I have this thing for stickers.
Oh.
Like I love like little kawaii stickers. Like I don't have any on my phone because I got a new case. Always about stickers. But I'm doing this little fundraiser and I'm selling these stickers for a donation of any sort.
Lovely.
And all the proceeds.
Hilarious.
I
I
know.
actually thought about that.
Oh my
I'd love to go
God.
too, but I've never actually told any of these guys.
Come
Oh,
through
wow,
to it
man.
too.
No, like,
Dude, thanks for the share, bro. I'm just joking.
But yeah, all of the proceeds will be going to Youth Mental Health Canada. Like mental health was also a big factor as well, a huge thing that was discussed on the podcast. So a lot of those, like all the proceeds will be going to that. And it helps with the campaigning of, maintaining your mental health and getting a lot of people just in the conversation about it. So if you guys haven't seen the logo, check it out. If you guys have any questions about it,
I know where it is.
let me know.
We're gonna let Aurea get
Yeah, let her get it.
before we
Sorry.
go.
Maybe we're in the right spot.
Hey.
Oh, it's the front pocket.
We're still live.
We're still live. Here, I'll give you guys one too. Just
Oh,
What?
Gee, they're so cute. Oh, I love stickers.
really cool.
So yeah, they're those. Oh my gosh, so cute. And my super dope, talented friend Kayla from Toronto designed these for me, and I'm so happy. So
Hey.
if you guys have any questions or anything, or if you guys want to make a donation, let me know. Y'all are dope. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
this is so fun. This is so cool.
G-Town Podcast X.
Always dropping stuff.
G-Town Podcast X Oreo's Guardians Cookies. We are signing off. We appreciate every eye and ear in the podcast. Thank you very much. Bye.
Perfect.